part of me that hasn't melted away. It's so freaking hot. It's just unbelievable. It's not supposed to be this hot in the Bay Area. This is crazy. We're supposed to be known for like moderate temperatures. Yeah, in the valley areas, going on inland towards Stockton and up, in that area up there. Yeah, it gets really hot in there, inland. But I'm in the coastal area. It's not supposed to be this hot. This makes no sense. And yesterday we did have some blackouts, so it's a good thing we weren't doing the show because it would have been right in the middle of it for 45 minutes. So I don't see it, but I'll wife it anyway. Jay said, stop the show. Well, that's what I get from getting this cheap lipstick. I have to, because it's so hot. I guess it's just melting. It's just ridiculous. Everything's screwed up because of this heat. I got it. Okay, good. Because I don't want to be over here looking stupid and have y'all clowning me and stuff. Look at her. She did the whole show and she got red stuff on her lips. Yes, honey. And guess what? We have 26 questions today in this heat. I hope I make it because I'm telling you, I'm about to die. This is a relationship advice live stream. It is not the show, which I guess I need to schedule one of those where you call in and do get your question answered right here live. We usually charge somewhere between $8 and $10 as your quote donation. But today's show, this show is usually on Tuesdays, but it got moved to today because of the brownouts and blackouts we've been having in the Northern California area due to the extreme heat. So just to make sure we weren't caught in the middle of it, we moved it to today when the temperature has dropped a few degrees. And I got a bonus question since so adult timers. Oh no. Ah, well, let's get started since it's 26 of these and I don't want to sit here in this heat any longer than I have to. It's just ridiculous. And bear with me if you hear more street noise than usual because I had to open the windows. I had to open the windows. This room, it's like, I have it set up for my YouTube stuff, but it's like it's an oven in here. So just bear with me if you hear extra street noise. So let's start. Question number one of 26 for those of you who like to keep track. One of 26. This is a young man in the 18 to 21 age group from Austin, Texas, writing about a female also in the 18 to 21 age group. He says, we are both white. Okay, what an intro. I found you on Twitch and like how you answer questions, which is why I am writing. Me and my girlfriend have been dating for 9 months. My girlfriend was invited by a friend to a naked party tomorrow. Okay. I thought I would be invited as well, but she stated that I am specifically not invited. She didn't explain why, I just wasn't. The party is being thrown by a fraternity which her ex-boyfriend and another guy she hooked up with are a part of, so they will both be there as well. I told her I'm not comfortable with her going if I'm not going to be there, especially if it's a naked party. She kind of got pissed, saying I don't trust her. I want to explain, in case you haven't heard of this, it's not like an orgy or anything. It's literally called a naked party. You do all the same things you would do at a regular party, except you're naked. How should I handle this? Okay, who thought of this? Who thought of this? Who thought of doing this is crazy. Child, yeah, I'm telling you, Sue. Every time I think I've heard it all on this column, something new comes across the desk. It just, and this is the first time I've ever heard of a naked party. I don't know who thought of this. Sounds interesting though, but no. I'm gonna say this, dude. You 18 years old. I don't see any reason why your girlfriend would want to go to such a thing, especially without you. Especially when her ex and some other dude that she hooked up with are going to be there and she specifically does not want you there or they specifically don't want you there. It's one or the other. But I'm going to say this, your relationship with your 9-month girlfriend is not what you think it is. It's just not. So be prepared for a breakup, because to me, this is crossing the line. This is crossing the line. I know, I'm pretty liberal when it comes to like people having friends of the opposite sex and all this kind of stuff, but there's certain things that even I don't tolerate. One is being friends with your ex, unless y'all have kids together and you need to co-parent, then I'm all for it. You need to be friendly for the children's sake. Okay, so you can go to weddings and graduations and stuff like that and not be at each other's throats. I'm in full agreement with that because that's what's best for the kids. As far as this, her going to this quote naked party, that's just a bit much. And if it were me, I'd be like, well, let me just say this. As you leave to go, take all your shit with you and never come back because this is over. That would be me. You do you. That would be me. I would just cross some boundaries I just wouldn't be ready to be bothered with. Okay, like I said, it's not so much that she's going, because you might go with a group of girlfriends just to see what's going on. That's how I would be. But the ex and the hookup dude are both there. Plus, it's a frat party. I've been to some frat parties. They're wild. Okay, all kind of crazy stuff be going on. This is all. This is a big. Oh, as it says right on my shirt, this is a big nope. Did you see that movie? I was at my cousin's house for the party last week, and they put this movie on. I think it was HBO called Nope, and we watched that crazy movie. It was insane. I had my shirt on too, and I've had this shirt for years, so it wasn't made about that movie. I've had this shirt at least 4 years, so I thought, well, that was interesting. But yeah, this is a big nope. All the nopes in the world. Let's move on to question number 2. This is a young man in the 35 to 41 age group. He's African American. He's from the Sacramento area. The female he's writing about is in the 22 to 27 age group. She is also African American. I'm wanting to tell my current roommate, I'm sorry, to evict my current roommate because she's pregnant. But Deb, there's more. I own a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath house in the Sacramento area. The deal is that I basically don't want to renew her lease, which ends in May 2023. She's pregnant now, so do the math. Some relevant info and backstory. I live near a college in this house, which I have been renting out the 2 spare rooms since I bought the place. My current roommate is a lot younger than me. She's 22 and I am 36. Things are most assuredly not going on between us. There's no children involved, etc. She is not my type. She has been here going on 3 years thanks to COVID, and it's just been her and I since May of 2020. I always have either 2 females or 1 or 2 males living with me, so it's been an unusual circumstance. Her brother was an ex-roommate that recommended me, and at the time, there was another friend with a sister that was looking for a place, so it worked out. I have been struggling to rent out the other room since things have opened back up to anyone aside from single guys. She doesn't know this, just that the room isn't rented. The problem is she wants to turn the other room into a nursery, and I need to reset my roommate dynamic to a comfortable for everyone situation. I was figuring that she would be done with school by December or May, but I don't know. She pays for the room, not her parents. I don't know if they know or anything like that. I just kind of feel bad, and she's all excited, and I don't even know her boyfriend or if she even has one or anything like that. I'm just kind of weirded out in this situation and could use some feedback on and suggestions for how to move on. Well, what you need to do is just tell her, I'm already looking for another tenant for that other room. Since you've been here and since I've bought this house, I've always rented out those other 2 rooms, so you cannot use it for a nursery. Number 2, I don't want a screaming infant in my house, only adults. So when you need to start looking for a place, because when your lease comes up in May, I'm not going to renew it. This is your notice right now. Be sure that you have somewhere to go, because the day your lease is up on at the end of May, so say the end of April, you got to go. And it's nothing personal. I don't feel like having no kids around here. That's why I don't have any. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to hear the screaming. I don't want to smell the poopy diapers. I don't want to nothing. I don't want it in my house. So you and your baby got to go. And that's what you tell her. Now her brother may say, "Man, that's cold." Say, "Well, you think it's so cold, you let her move in with you." But she not going. I'm not. No, that's not gonna happen here. I don't want no kids in my house. And there you go. I'm going to have rent. I'm going to be renting those other 2 rooms out. It's probably not going to be a good environment for a new baby you have anyway. So all in all, it's just a bad situation. She could have stayed here by herself as long as she wanted to, but trying to bring a baby into it just changes the whole dynamic. And I'm not. No, that's not going to happen. So you come and get your sister then. If you have such a problem with it, y'all can live together. How about that? Yeah, I don't blame him because I wouldn't want to be bothered with that crap either. I mean, I'll babysit, but the kids got to at least be 3. I have a rule. I'm not changing no diapers. They got to be potty trained and they have to be at least 3 years old. Then I'll babysit them. But younger than that, I don't want to be bothered. My nerves are too bad. I can't handle it. They start to screaming and I start feeling like I'm gonna, like my head is gonna like bust off my body, or I can't do it. That's why only young people should have kids, or people that have really good nerves. I'm neither of those, and I admit it. I don't have no problem with saying I'm old and grumpy. I don't want to hear nobody screaming kid. I don't want no kid destroying my stuff, running around, this and that. So I have to have a kid that's old enough that I can engage them in stuff, keep them occupied, tell them stories, go to the park with them, build sandcastles at the beach with them, all this kind of stuff. So they have to be at least 3. Then I'll watch them. But other than that, don't bring your brats to my house. Don't even come visit with no screaming ass baby. I don't want to be bothered. And then the parents, they always act like they can't see their toddlers destroying your house, or they can't hear the kids screaming bloody murder. So it's like, well, since you seem to have all kind of auditory problems and visual problems, you need to stay at home at your house. That's what you need to do. You young and grumpy. Hey, join the club. I'm telling you, I can't do it. People be like, "Oh, you're so mean. Children are a blessing from God." And I'm like, you notice God only had one, right? You understand that? God had one and his is dead. So guess what? He ain't babysitting your kids either. Ain't nobody trying to be bothered with your offspring. Get out of here. They don't like it when I say things like that. They just be sputtering. But let's move on. Question number 3. Your nieces and nephews? Oh no, see no. My half sister brought her kids to my house. She had twins, right? They were probably about 2 at the time. And I had a white couch. Cause my daughter knows how to act. Okay, I raised my child well. She knows how to sit down, eat at the table. She don't be running around making no mess. Okay, her kids, she wanted. They had some. I had made some cookies, right? I think they were chocolate chip. And I had this light carpet, like a light beige carpet. It was beautiful. And then my white couch with this little printed, design in it and stuff. So, I mean, my house really was for an adult, really not for little kids. So then here comes these 2 brats, and she want to give them some drink. So they spilled this juice on my beige carpet. Then they threw the cookies on the floor and walked them into the juice. Her husband was sitting right there watching them do it. I turned around and saw that mess, threw everybody out of my house. So you can't come back. And there you go. Yeah, and then he's sitting there just looking at them do it like, what? Kind of expression. So yes, they got a divorce and I was happy. Yeah, I did not have a child friendly. Well, it was child friendly for my daughter because my daughter knew how to act, but not for other people who came in the house with heathens. No, it was not. It was not heathen friendly. It was sane child friendly. Like I said, my daughter knew how to act and put her food to eat at the table and get down and wipe. I mean, she had manners and grace. She still does, and I taught her that from the age of 2. So I mean, kids can learn. Kids don't have to be wild and stupid. Their parents let them be that way. So anyway, let's get on to the question number 3 before I melt on camera. Female, 22 to 27. She's from Florida. She's African American and an Aquarius. The male is in the 22 to 27 age group as well, and he is a Gemini. Hey, Auntie Deb, how are you doing? A little backstory. I am married for less than a year. When I moved in with my husband, I realized he had some effed up habits. He would throw his clothes on the ground anywhere. He didn't do dishes, cook, clean, wash. And when I emptied the laundry basket, it's like he changed 10 times a day because in a few days it's overflowing with clothes for him only, and even on the ground next to the basket where he throws them. I found myself cleaning up after him naturally. Then one day it clicked. What the fuck am I doing? taking up socks from his grown ass man while this motherfucker plays video games. And it hit me. I married a Dusty. I was getting ready to say, I can tell you all about all the BS, but one thing in particular got me pissed. This man watches the garbage overflow, and then if it's too full, he sticks the trash in whatever little space is available. I talked to him about it many, many times. Fast forward to today, the day before I changed the garbage, I woke up to find it overflowing, and on the stove was a container with food. This motherfucker didn't even want to change the garbage, so he put the trash on the stove. Girl, I said, okay. I made breakfast. And he ran out the room talking about, this smells good. Then he started smiling. I said, oh, you looking for your plate, huh? He said, yeah. I said, well, whenever you learn to change the garbage when it's feeling like that after you last use it, then you can get some. Deb, instead of him changing the garbage, he went back to bed. Do you think my reaction was childish? No, I think you're underreacting. I think you're underreacting because what I would do is I would never touch his dirty clothes ever again. Stuff like sheets, towels, stuff like that that you need to be sanitary. I would definitely still wash those because, bleach, hot water. I mean, you know what I'm talking about? You don't want to be sleeping on nothing or using nothing that makes you break out or itch. Okay, I'm very particular about that kind of stuff. So I would, if I were you, I would still wash those things. Of course, you could always just get your own towels, but then chances are he's going to use them anyway. So that's why I said you just wash the towels, kitchen towels, bedding. Okay, you take care of that. Everything that goes on his body, you don't touch it. If when he runs out of clothes, he can wash them himself, or he can go buy new ones. Either one, it's not going to be your problem. Just put his stuff in some trusty, hefty bags if it gets too much to be too many, and move them to the side. All of that, all of the clothes and stuff that you've been washing, you're not going to do that anymore. You're just going to wash yours and keep your stuff in a separate clothes hamper in your closet or something like that. Okay. As far as the cooking goes, I would just either make enough for me or I would eat out. I wouldn't worry about what he ate because that way, whatever garbage he generates, he's going to be responsible for that too. It's going to be hard for you because you sound like you're a rather neat, tidy person, but you're going to have to just let shit go. If you do some dishes, you wash your dishes and let his just sit there. That's how you got to do this. I mean, it's unfortunate that was his mother always taking care of him. I mean, this just sounds so bizarre. I mean, you never spent a weekend with him or a couple of weeks or something at his place and you never noticed that he was a slob? Or did he do a bait and switch and wait until you were, quote, my wife to start thinking that he was going to have like an instant slave or something? Some dudes do that. Wife to them is different than girlfriend. So I don't know quite what to say about that part, but I'm just telling you how I would handle it. Hell would freeze over before I touched his dirty clothes. I'm not cooking for nothing. You can starve. I don't care what you do. But you thinking you're going to put me in this trick bag while you sit on your butt playing video games and make me do all this work? It's not going to happen. And then if he persisted in this, then the next step would be divorce court. And it's going to sound odd. People are going to think, wow, you got a divorce because your husband didn't take out the trash. And it's not that. It's the total disrespect, the total disregard, the treating you like a servant. That's why you would be getting a divorce. It's disrespectful and just mean. So like I said, you can try that first method where you don't do it, see if he finally gets a clue and steps up and starts being the man of the house. But I'm telling you, give yourself a certain period of time, and if he doesn't, then start moving your shit out. And if you've been married, you said a year, huh? So I guess you can't get an annulment. Too bad. But depending on where you are, you might be able to get one if you don't have any kids and didn't buy any property together, and it'll be like it never happened. Question number 4. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group. He's Latino from San Luis Obispo. Okay, so there's this girl that I work with that I really like. We've been working together for 5 months, but only started talking outside of work recently. She's got a great sense of humor that matches mine, and she's really cute, meaning I almost immediately developed a crush on her. I would normally shoot my shot if I feel this way, but for one, I'm not sure she sees me as anything but a friend, and because I'm moving away for college in a few weeks and she's staying for community college, so I most likely won't see her for a few months, if at all. We started texting each other, and every time I see a new message from her, My heart skips a beat. When she doesn't respond, I feel like complete shit. Wow, dude, you got it bad. I spend my entire day thinking about her and looking forward to the next time I work with her. When she laughs at a joke I make, I feel so fucking happy. I was at the gym today and I spent an hour longer there, distracted thinking about her. My appetite is completely gone and I literally feel sick just from thinking about her so much. Wow. Huh. God, I can't. Okay. Can't separate the paper. This is awful. I hate this paper. I'm just actually considering coming back to work there for winter break just because of her. I know that it'd be a bad idea to ask her out, but I wish that something could just happen. Even if she just outright reject me or say something like she has a boyfriend, because at least I wouldn't have to deal with this obsession anymore. I've never been this infatuated with someone before. On the one hand, I just want to know how to stop thinking about her all the time. But it also feels so painful because I wish that I could be with her. Well, maybe it's just me, but the fact that you're going away is a perfect reason to make a date. So you're gonna tell her, you say you used to shooting your shot. Well, I don't understand why you not. Especially like your last week of work, you say, this is my last week here because I'm about to head off to college. Would you like to hang out with me, like a goodbye party or something, goodbye dinner, something? And then she'll say, oh, okay. And then you go out and then you talk to her. And then you try to make plans. And you didn't say how far away your college is. It's the kind of place where you can come home often for the weekend or something. You say winter break, but it's the kind of place where you could come for the weekend sometimes, maybe once a month. Think about that. If it's too far, then never mind. But you don't say, like, I'm going to college on the other side of the country. I mean, you didn't put any details in that way. But I mean, to me, it just sounds like you just way into this girl, and so it would be just heartless for you and cruel to yourself to not try to do something. She may tell you that she has a boyfriend. She may tell you that she's not interested. There may be something here, but at least you have to do something in order to either move forward or shut it down. Right now, you're just in limbo, just doing nothing, just like on this hamster wheel. You need to get off the hamster wheel and man up. So you're going to make that move, and it's going to either move things forward or it's going to shut things down. But at least that way, your mind will be at peace and you won't be in this situation anymore. So you got to do something, dude. Giggles just appeared on the scene. Yeah. Who was I like? I was like that about a boy in high school. Ooh, I'll never forget his name was David something. Not David. I think David Harris was his last name. But yeah, I used to follow him around. He was older than me. He was a senior, and I was, like a freshman, sophomore, or something. And I just was just all into this man, and just used to little young man, and just to follow him around all over the place. I just thought he was just so cute. I don't know why, but I still think about that. I would have had to crush for it forever. Then he graduated, and I was like, oh, sigh, and that was that. Question number 5, female 22 to 27. She's white from London. The male in question also 22 to 27, also white. I've been dating my boyfriend for 7 months. He's going to be abroad for 2 weeks. Before he left, he asked me if I would let him film us while we were having eggplant and let him take some nudie pictures of me. I said no at first because I've never done that before, and I was worried when other people would see them. He convinced me to let him do it, and the night before he left, he filmed us having eggplant and took pictures of me. In the morning, while he was showering, I suddenly started panicking, so I went into his phone and deleted them all. I never told him after I did it, and now I'm worried he's going to be angry at me when he realizes it. I don't know if I should tell him or wait until he notices. I also don't know what to say if he's angry at me. Any advice? Just tell him, well, you got your experience of filming it. I never said that you could keep them. Girl, you don't have no game. You couldn't come up with that. You said film and take the pictures. You did not say you was gonna keep them. Okay. Now the thing that's bothering me is, a lot of people have their phones set up so that it automatically uploads to some kind of site like Dropbox, OneBox, Google Drive. I mean something. So the fact that you delete them off the phone may not really save you. Okay, that's one thing to consider. Maybe, but maybe not. The other thing that you need to think about is why, when you said no, you changed your mind and then let him pressure you into it. Why did you do that? No should always stay no. If a guy keeps pressuring you after you say no, you get up, you get your stuff, and you go home. If he's at your house, you get up, you tell him to get his shit and kick him out so he can go home. It bothers me so much when I see young girls say no and then eventually, I mean, just in a short time later, they give in. Do you know what you're doing? You're teaching men that they don't have to listen to you. That what you say don't mean shit. That if they just, pressure you and coerce you into it, that, it's an easy thing because you're going to give in because you're so fucking spineless that you don't never stand up for yourself. You're weak. This is the problem with 90% of women. Y'all you don't stay focused on what's best for you. You said no. No is supposed to be till you go to your grave. You don't change because he said anything. What you do is you get rid of him because he's not respecting your no. This drives me fucking crazy. This drives me crazy. And so many women have this problem. Y'all want to be nice. Well, I don't want him to not like me. I don't want him to think bad of me. Fuck him. Fuck him, fuck him, fuck him. Who gives a shit? You got somebody who's just in your face disrespecting you and you worried about him liking you? Are you crazy? Are you guys out of your minds? I don't understand this at all. If I have to tell a man no more than one time, I'm done with him. I'm done. I mean, I don't care where we are, what we do, and I don't care. I said no, motherfucker, and that's what the fuck I meant. So you get out. Get out of my house, get out of my car, get out of my life, whatever we are, it's over. Because I said no. Although the only thing your ass is supposed to say after that is okay. I don't want to hear shit else from you about trying to, why not? Well, come on, you just this and that. There's something wrong with you, but everybody else would do it. These are all the things that they use, and you guys listen to that garbage. It drives me nuts. So that's how you got in this situation. You said no, your ass was supposed to stay on no forevermore. So then, luckily though, you had an opportunity to delete it. But like I said, if he has his phone set to automatically back up any images to the cloud, you're still fucked. That's why you don't let men do this kind of shit to you. And he gonna upload, you all break up, he gonna upload it to one of them revenge sites. Then what you gonna do? This is why you don't do stuff like this. Even if you married to a motherfucker, you don't let him take nude pictures of you. You just don't. No movies and no pictures. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Yes, no means no, but to these girls, it doesn't seem like no means no. And all these dudes would be like, well, yeah, she said no, but I'm gonna keep asking her anyway. And they keep getting this reinforcement that if they keep asking you, that you eventually give in, and that's what's been happening. I'm telling you, I say no even when I mean yes. I still say no. You know why I say no? Because that gives me the time to think about it. You can always go back and change your mind later, not that day, not even that week, months later if you decide to. But usually I don't. If I say no, it pretty much stays no. If I say maybe, then that gives me that flexibility. But no, 99.99999% of the time, my no stays no forever. There's a Netflix show about that. Well, that sounds interesting. Be sure to type the name of it in there so I can put it on my queue later and watch it. Question number 6. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's African American, a Libra from Pembroke Pines, Florida. The male in question is a 28 to 34 age group, and he is black, and he is a Leo. Girl, you done messed up now. Leo men? Oh, hell to the no. Wait a minute. I have to take a swig. This fan, you know, this fan is blowing around all the dust in this room, and it's making me choke. Okay, that's better. Okay. Pembroke Pines. Okay. Hey, Miss Deb. This isn't an advice question, but more so the wanting of your perspective. I'm talking to a guy, and I've noticed that he has a tendency to sound very cocky and egotistical. Hmm. I was playing a video from TikTok out loud, which led to this conversation. He was saying how, quote, dating favors men more than women because men have more options with dating beautiful women than women have with securing a man. Something about it rubbed me the wrong way, and he proceeded to say, quote, because I'm successful, muscular, black, and look good, I'm high on the totem pole, especially in the black community, so my options are very good. I proceeded to ask, what makes you think that women supposedly don't have equal options compared to you all? If I limit myself just to black men, yeah, my options may be limited to those of you who aren't in jail, dead, gay, multiple babies all over the place, etc. He also mentioned his male friends who go to different countries and how women supposedly, quote, flock to black men. But it sounds like it's mostly sex related, not so much fostering prosperous, healthy relationships. What's your thought on all this? Thanks so much for what you do. Well, you guys can share your thoughts too. He's not no alpha male. Let me tell you about these dudes saying this kind of stuff. A true alpha male does not have to talk about it. He is about it. You see it in everything that he does, the way he carries himself, the way he handles his business, and the way he relates to other people. He does not sit around crowing about his options and stuff like this. This is a wannabe. This is an egotistical little knucklehead. That's what you got. And as far as him thinking that, he's high on the totem pole because he's successful and muscular and good, looks good. I mean, did he, give him the link to the video we did recently about what women are looking for in relationships. He's stuck on superficial physical things. Yeah, that may help you get a woman's initial attention, but it won't keep it. You know why? Because women are looking for something a lot deeper. He's just looking at the surface. He's offering surface stuff because he's shallow. He's talking about beautiful women and how all the things that he oft talked about himself are surface, superficial things. Not anything about his innate qualities, not about what he would offer a woman in a relationship, not how well he loves and treats somebody. Nothing he said about himself is on that level. That's why in the video, what's that live video we did, you guys? Or men who are, I forgot the name of it, but it's based on Dr. Greg Matos' article. It was done a couple of weeks ago. And it talks about how men are, women don't want them anymore. And it doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, I did a video, and it was early in my career on this channel about why successful black men don't get picked. So you can send them a link to that too. I'll try to remember to put it in the show description down below. But yeah, they get put on ignore. Remember that word? That's when I coined that word. Niggas getting ignored. Ignore. That's a word I came up with 12 years ago, 50, a long time ago. But anyway, why successful black men get put on ignore by black women. That's the name of the video. And it would talk about guys just like him. It's like he's very superficial, and so he offers, stuff that would be socially important, I suppose. But that's not what keeps women happy in a long-term relationship. What else you got? How are you loving her? What's your communication style? Are you honest, truthful? Are you loyal? Are you a good family man? Will her parents and her siblings like you? Are they gonna look at you like you a dust bucket plater? These are things that, guys like what you talking to here don't understand. So you have plenty of ammo now to go and shoot him down, and I would highly suggest that you prepare your words and do just that. Jettison him to Mars, because he's just too full of himself. Man, he would just need to be clowned into oblivion. And what you have, options that you have are irrelevant. We're talking about him right now. He started talking about himself, trying to compare himself to women. He's a little punk. Men who do that are just little bitches. God, I can't stand it. I don't know how you can continue talking to his ass. But it's something that you still need to clown him before you block him. Question number 7. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group, a Pisces, and she's African American from Memphis, Tennessee. I recently turned 18 and just started at university. I quickly became friends with one of the orientation teachers, leaders a 22-year-old male who seemed cool when we started hanging out. At first, there were moments where I thought he was flirting, but I brushed it off since I kept saying I was like a little sister to him. He is someone who is very physically affectionate, and I tend to reciprocate whatever people around me do. So I seem like a physically affectionate person when I am around him. Okay, so he's grabbing on you and rubbing on you, and you dumb, and you don't even know what's happening, and you think it's affection. That's what's going on here. Okay, let us proceed. Recently, he brought me into a kind of private area and held me for a long time. I found it kind of off-putting, but I didn't question it. Afterwards, he told me that if I were just a little bit older, he would be dating me. That freaked me out, but it wasn't the worst part. He told me that we could only hug in private since he didn't want people thinking he was dating me, and he also joked about, well, this is really long, about me not being allowed to have a boyfriend, and he compared me to his ex multiple times. In one of our first hangouts, he told me that if I ever smoked weed, I was dead to him. Today, I posted a photo on my Snap of me and my roommate, only our faces, and he called me a cutie, which made me feel weird. I was wearing a semi-revealing outfit, a crop top and leggings, and I became terrified of posting it on my story because he said anything which sucked because I wore that outfit because I wanted to take cute photos in it and post them. Okay, I don't know what that was. I don't know what to do. Before things started escalating, he would always double check to make sure I wasn't uncomfortable. But now he doesn't, and I don't know what to do. I can't just block him because we see each other in real life all the time, and I can't go to any authorities because he's a very good standing on campus and is basically untouchable. I've applied for a study away program in the spring, and I'm looking at schools to transfer to, but I don't know what to do until then. I also don't want to hurt his feelings. Oh, here we go. I have a friend who is his age who told me to forget about his feelings and focus on what's best for me because what he's doing is creepy. Part of me thinks I might be overreacting. He might just be trying to be nice, but I've been hurt by older guys in the past and I'm leery. I don't know what I should do. He was my he has my class schedule and I have a job on campus that limits me to one space for hours at a time. So he knows where I am most of the time since he also knows where my dorm is. I don't think he would try to hurt me physically, but I feel weird when I'm around him. Oh, okay, that's the end of it. Okay, let's go back to this long ass letter. Young lady, you just turned 18, so that you just fresh out of your kiddie stage of 17. He's 22. So essentially he's 5 years older than you. This is an inappropriate relationship, seeing as how he has a position on campus and you're a student there. So he's dragging you around to the bushes to hug on you and stuff, which basically is to rub himself up against you, and you don't understand what that is. You are not going to go anywhere with this man ever again. Hear me clearly right now. He says, let's go here. You say, no, I don't want to. And you head in the opposite direction. If he starts trying to, get you to hug on him and say, no, I don't want to do that. Stop it. You're too old to be doing this and it's inappropriate and you know it. This thing about being nice and not hurting his feelings, fuck that. This man is perving on you, and you so innocent, naive, and silly. You don't recognize it. But you turn around and say you've been taken advantage of before by older guys. So I'm just shocked that you don't see that this is what's going on here. There's some disconnect here. I'm not trying to blame you, because I know you were young, but you have to, when things happen to you in life, girlfriend, you have to use those tools and that information. You're supposed to be learning from those experiences so that you protect yourself. And when you see something like that happen again coming your way, you dodge it, you dip it, and you don't involve yourself in it. So this guy's saying that you can't have a boyfriend, he's trying to stake a claim on you. He's perving on you, and this is so inappropriate. And I don't care that he has a good standing. He mostly has a good standing because he's probably done this stuff like this before, and all you girls will say, oh, but he's got a good standing in this, and so you don't report him. Tell him this. Say, look, I've been thinking about all of this, and I don't want to go anywhere with you. I don't want you touching me anymore. Your staff or whatever his title is, and I'm a student here. So let's keep it professional. You stay over there, I'm gonna stay over here, and I'm not gonna be going anywhere with you. We step past each other, we're gonna wave hi, and that's gonna be it. And he's gonna be like, why, this and that. Saying no. Some of the stuff that you said to me is just so inappropriate, and it's just like I don't know why I wasn't thinking clearly before, but I'm thinking clearly now, and we're not going to do this anymore. If he tries to do it again, you say, I want you to stop. If you continue with this, I'll have to report you to the campus. I'm telling you right now, leave me alone. Don't do this. Every time I come in this dusty ass room, I start coughing. Yeah, see, again, a boundary that should never have been crossed. Soon as he started trying to talk to you in private or dragging you around in the bushes and stuff like this, you were not supposed to let that happen. It's not like he dragged you and hit you over the head. I mean, you went willingly. That's why I'm saying that was not supposed to happen. You have to protect yourself. You, no matter where you go, if you have this attitude of letting men just tell you what they're going to do and you go along with it, it's going to follow you. So you going to a new campus is not going to change anything. You're just going to find somebody just like him over there. The time for you to stop this and find your courage and your voice as a young lady is now. You don't let men treat you like this. He's too fucking old. And he's talking about you can't have a boyfriend. So you don't tell me what to fucking do. I do what the hell I want to do. Even my daddy don't tell me what to do. If I want to have a boyfriend, if I want to fuck everybody on this campus, that's what I'm going to do. If I want to smoke all the weed there is until there's like a smoke cloud the size of Canada all over this campus, that's what I'm going to do. You don't tell me shit. Now see, if you was like a little hood girl, that's what you would have done. Instead, you sitting up there worrying about his feelings. I'd blow his fucking hair back. No, she don't need to run. She needs to stand her ground and warm it up. Running is not going to do anything. She'll just be in the same situation the next time she sees him. It's not going to, that's not the story here. He's not forcing himself on her. She's participating in this naively but willingly. Okay, there's a difference. She don't understand what's happening. That's why I'm trying to break it down for her. So you don't let this man touch. I remember my daughter came home from high school one time. All the game I taught her, I was sitting there looking at her like, you didn't see that. So I had to explain it to her. Similar situation. She's walking back from high school, right, with her little friends. I think she was like in the 9th grade. And these little boys, her and this little girl, these two little white boys come walking up to them and ask them for a hug. Now, at that age, they just want to feel some tatas on their little scrawny chest. And so she doesn't see anything wrong with it. So she and the little girl, they hug the boys. They're on the street hugging some strangers. So when she got to the house, she knew something was wrong though, because she thought had enough, something triggered her for her to sit there and tell me about what happened. And I had to be calm because I want to get in my car and go drive and find these little motherfuckers and just fly them around a little bit or hit them, run over them with my Honda. But I said, no, there's a little stupid little boy, so let me educate my daughter. And it was the same kind of thing. A, if someone asked to touch your body, you say no. B, there's nothing about what they did. It was innocent. They was getting free feels. And she was all grossed out about it and stuff, And she was like, oh, mommy, do you think that's... I said, no, I know that's what they were doing. I know that's what they were doing. And they're hugging you and they're feeling everything pressing on their little chests and stuff. That's what their goal was. Okay, they just wanted to feel some tatas. And she's like, oh my God. And she was all affected and disgusted. But, after that, she was cool. She understood the story. So you don't let no motherfucker, I don't care if he's your same age or older or any age. I don't care who it is. We could be related to him. You don't let them touch you. If they have a problem with it, you tell them to talk to me. So that's how we rolled out after that. No, I'm not doing that. Yeah, it's reporting. She can't really report it yet. That's why I said she has to tell him no, and she doesn't want to do it anymore. She hasn't said that, you guys. She's been a willing participant in this. So what's she going to report? Come on now, keep up. She was innocently, like I said, innocently and naively participating because she didn't understand what was going on. That's why I'm explaining it to her and giving her these instructions. Now, once she tells him, no, stop, I don't want to, this is wrong, this is inappropriate, any of those kind of things, stay in your envelope as a staff member, whatever she's going to say, I'll relate. Then if he continues to do it, then she can report him. because she already told him no. As of this point, she has not given any sign or symptom to him that that this is not something that she wants just as much as he does. So what's she gonna report? Come on now, she gonna look stupid. That's why young girls like this need lessons on when these kind of predators start going after them. She didn't understand what was happening and why she should have said no and shut this shit down immediately. Then immediately she could have reported him but she would have already put her barriers in place. She hasn't done that. Not one time did she say that she said no, stop, I don't want to, nothing. She's going along with it. She's writing me, but she's going along with what he's doing. There's nothing that she can report because she was a willing participant. Understand what I'm saying here. He did not force her to do anything. He didn't put drugs in her drinks. He didn't try to get her drunk. He didn't do anything like that. She's going along with it because she's trying to, quote, be nice. And I'm telling her to stop. So there you go. That's how this goes. Okay, you can't just be running telling stuff. You're gonna look stupid and nothing's gonna happen because he didn't actually do anything that you didn't want him to do. Because you was doing it too. That's what I'm saying. You gotta understand how these things go when you start reporting stuff to authorities. They're gonna ask you, well, when did you tell him to stop? What are the conversations you? And she's gonna be like, oh, I didn't say anything. I just, he wanted to go and I went. And they're gonna be looking at her crazy. And they're like, well, we can't do anything about this. You participate. And that's why you're not gonna report anything until after you do what I said. And you tell him, no, stop, we're not doing this. Don't come near me. Don't talk to me. Then if he does anything that you tell him to do, if he violates any of the things on that list, you go straight to the authorities and you report it. Then you can talk about all the other stuff and you didn't understand what was going on, but then you figured it out, you told him to stop and he didn't stop. Now you got to report, okay? Question number 7, female, 18 to 21. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the letter I just read. I forgot I picked that up to read it and, to go over the facts. Okay, question number 8, female, 18 to 21 from Durham, North Carolina. She is Caucasian. She says, my ex told me that I was pretty high maintenance, and I was wondering if you and the ladies have any tips or tricks for it. He meant it in an emotional type of way, and I can totally see it. I'm just needy for validation and attention sometimes. I thought I was doing pretty well, and words of affirmation is my love language. But hearing this makes me a bit concerned for my future relationships. I love to not be so emotionally draining for my future partners. Can you help me? No, but what can help you is a shrink. You need some therapy. You got to get your self-esteem and confidence up. You are the kind of person and it's the kind of thing some people have to learn to do this. Some people are just born this way because I feel like, just my opinion now, this is not no scientific research fact or nothing like that. But from my many, many, many years on this earth, I've noticed people seem to be born one way or the other. Either they're inner directed or they're outer directed. Inner directed means they're self-motivated. They give themselves their own self-confidence, self-esteem. They talk positive things to themselves. They set their own goals. They reward themselves. They're not looking for any kind of validation, acknowledgement, or anything from anybody else. If it comes, they accept it graciously, but they don't need it. They don't ask for it. They don't look for it. They motivate themselves. They go through life pretty much solo. Then you have the people who need all of those accolades, adoration, acknowledgement, validation. They just need a bunch of people around them telling them that they're wonderful, that they're great, they're beautiful, all this other stuff. And these are men and women, not just women. So you're in that category. So you just need all of this, you think you need all of this kind of stuff coming from somebody else to make you feel like you're an important person. That is a very sad and sorry way to be. I'm going to tell you why. You depended on other people to tell you that you're great, that you're wonderful, what you are and who you are and what you're capable of and all that kind of stuff. And so you listen to them, right? And so you build your little self up and you think, oh, yes, I'm all of that. I'm all of that. I'm just so wonderful because this person said it. Okay, now y'all having a fight or this person goes and meets somebody else and wants to get rid of your ass. The first thing they're going to do is yank that rug out from under you and start telling you, yeah, well, you stupid, you ugly, you're gaining weight. There's something wrong with you. You can't screw anyway, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to start tearing you down. And you know why that will affect you? Because you need all this outside validation. And you're going to be scurrying around like a little squirrel trying to get them to still love you and pay attention to you. And validate you. So you're going to change. You're going to do all this stuff. You're going to go through all these changes to try to get them to treat you and talk to you the way that they did at first. As you lose more and more and more of yourself, till finally there's nothing left of you, and they leave you anyway because they're disgusted with you. You had no boundaries. You have no self-respect. You have no confidence in yourself. Everything that you believe about yourself is what somebody told you that you are versus what you tell yourself that you are. This is, I guess they have names for it now, anxious attachment and all this kind of stuff. Whatever, what the fuck ever. I mean, I'm not into all of those different names, but it basically is, like I said, it's two kinds of people. This is a Deborah Cooper observation. Two kinds of people: those who are self-directed and those who need other people to direct them and tell them who they are, what they are, how to feel, how to think, how to be, everything. You need other people to tell you that. You're just incapable of doing that for yourself. That's you. And so when you are that kind of woman, some dudes are happy to do that at first because they get a lot of attention. They feel like the big man on campus at first, but then they start to feel exhausted. They start to feel drained because you're constantly pulling from them. You're constantly sucking the life out of them. And those of you who can't get your way, it just regular, you use tears to manipulate them into doing it. So the guys just get drained. You use threats. Sometimes, threats of S-ing yourself and all kind of stuff, or K-ing yourself and all kind of crazy stuff women do to keep men around. So I would suggest, like I said, long story short, I want all you to understand where I was coming from with that. Get yourself into a shrink's office and start working on your self-esteem, because that's the core of your problem. Question number 9, female, 28 to 34. She's mixed race from Santa Clarita, California. My boyfriend doesn't want me to go hiking for a weekend in October with female friends. I need to know if you have any way I can make him change his mind. Okay. Let me finish reading. My boyfriend is 27 and has a history of having been cheated on. I am bi. Though this obviously doesn't mean I want to sleep with everyone, and it doesn't mean either everyone wants to sleep with me. What he didn't like was that the friend who offered to go hiking offered me a while ago to go to a dancing evening with her, which I refused because dancing is pretty intimate for me. He maybe thinks she wants either to have me date someone to date her. Question marks. Yeah, because I don't understand what that means. She is into boys as far as I know. And the closest we have been was back in university as classmates. I think she's respectful enough of my boundaries and relationship, and she didn't make a fuss out of me refusing to go dancing with her and offered to take a lunch out instead. I rarely go out, especially on trips with friends. Being very introverted, I'm rarely invited, and when I am, I rarely say yes. Hiking sounded fine to me, and an occasion to experiment with some of my friends do, going on a friend trip. And for me, getting to socialize in a safe environment with one or two friends at best. The trip was meant for either the two of us or with another friend at uni. So there would be 3 of us. These are only people I know and not too much. What can I do? I would say this. Make sure you bring weaponry. As you going hiking, you're going to be in some areas where you likely to run into some deliverance people. So when I go off into the woods and stuff, honey, I'll be like I'm going to Iraq. So I'm loaded. And I'm not taking no shit from nobody, including no bears, cougars, and all that kind of stuff. Anybody come near me that doesn't look friendly, you're going to drop. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, you can have that kind of stuff, but you also should have, some good hunting knives with you. Learn how to use them. Why am I saying all this? Because there's a lot of crazy people in the world these days. The days we could just go hiking out by ourselves, over. The day when it's just 2 of you going hiking by yourself, I don't think that's a good idea. Unless you're going to go hiking on a road where there's a whole bunch of people, and I would still have my weaponry. I don't care. Because sometimes people just stand around and watch. Stuff happen to you, they don't do anything. Especially if you're going to be in an area where there's no cell service. You're feeling me here. So a lot of what your boyfriend is concerned about may not be what you think it is. It may be very much for your safety in life. A lot of stuff be happening. You heard about the lady who was jogging pre-dawn the other day, and she got forced in some SUV. They arrested the brother. It's some monkey-looking fool, and he abducted this woman. She's a school teacher. She was out jogging, minding her own business. and she ended up dead. They found his ass. So you know what I'm saying? You got to be careful. Look in the chat too. They got some ideas for what you can do. So I'm thinking it might be some of that, but you can ask them. But like I said, if you're going your hiking trip on a place that's a well-traveled road where there's rangers and patrolling and stuff like that, but then there probably won't be all these problems, and I'm just probably being overstressed. But think about what I said, and if you guys are trying to go into some like real weird area, change where you're gonna go. Okay, do it. You can have fun, but do it in a way where you mitigate any possible risk of crazy. Okay, go where there's a lot of rangers and a lot of patrols and a lot of people, and then hike away and have yourself a good time, and don't worry about your boyfriend, because these dudes be trying to get you to not do stuff. But like I said, it could be concerns for your health and safety based on where you guys were talking about going to hike. So slow down here and have a conversation with him and see what's on his mind, what's bothering him. Okay, because you've made a lot of assumptions here, but it doesn't sound like you really had a conversation with him about it. Question number 11, female, 18 to 21. She's African American from Irvine, California. Hi, Auntie Deb. I need some ideas for how I can reassure my boyfriend that my roommates are just my roommates. I live with 3 male roommates and we all attend UC Irvine. They are my friends, nothing more. Never have been romantically or physically interested in any of them, and they are definitely not interested in me. 2 of them have long distance girlfriends, the other one is still not over his ex. And we are just friends. They respect my relationship and our boundaries, and they are my boyfriend's friends too. I love my boyfriend dearly, and I know that he gets anxious over me living with 3 guys. But I tried talking to him about what can I do to make him feel more comfortable, and he says he doesn't have the right to tell me what to do with my own house. He trusts me, but I don't want him to worry because truly there's nothing to worry about. So what can I do to reassure him that he has nothing to worry about? I always walk out of my room fully clothed, even in the middle of the night. I rarely enter their rooms and don't let either of them enter mine for privacy. To be honest, I don't spend much time alone with any of them, and I tell my boyfriend that I update him often if I'm at home alone with only one of them, including pictures and everything. Any other ideas? You're doing too much. Oh, sending him pictures to prove that nothing's going on. What is he? I mean, God, I just feel like what's going on with these insecure ass men? See, this is what I think. Like, if he was that concerned, then he would be getting a spot and then moving you in with him. But he's not. All he's trying to do is control what you do by guilt tripping and worrying you after death. I suggest that you stop thinking about this. Okay, live your life. This works out well. I used to have a male roommate when I was, dating my later husband. He felt some kind of way about it. I could tell. But you know what? I told him too fucking bad. Because, I liked having a male roommate. It was great. When heavy shit needed to be lifted, I asked somebody to do it. I didn't have to do it. He was fun. We would hang out and stuff. We would go out drinking and all kinds of stuff. So I had like a buddy. He was cool. I enjoyed him. You remember that movie, Girl, Deliverance? That was my dude. I must have watched that movie about 50 times because that was some shit. But yeah, I don't understand what the problem is. He knows the guys, so it's not like they're going to be doing anything. So I'm thinking that you're worrying unnecessarily. You're going through way too much to try to reassure him. Stop doing that. Stop bending over backwards or treating him like a child. If he can't deal with it, then just tell him so bad. Too fucking bad. Either you're going to deal with it or you just break up. Which one do you want to do? Because I'm not going to be bothered with this. This is my living situation for now. It works for me. And so this is what's going to happen. I'll be trying to dictate what you do at your spot. And you're not going to dictate what I do to mine. You're going to enjoy it or you're not, but I'm not going to be going through all these changes with you anymore. I'm not going to do it. Let's move on. Question number 12. This is a male, 22 to 27. He's African American from Newark, New Jersey. Can a man who is under 6 feet tall approach women? Is this doable? I got laughed at to my face the other day when I approached a group of girls at a bar. I introduced myself and there was crickets. One of the girls shouted, "My little brother's taller than him," and they all started laughing. That was my first night out at the bars in a long time. I felt immediately incredibly embarrassed, and I'm not looking forward to doing that again. Well, I don't know what kind of guy you are, but when somebody acts like a little bitch, that would be the time to tell her about herself. Say, now what kind of bitch would say some shit like that? Just uncalled for, you uncouth hoe. That's what flew out of my mouth. And then she would sit there looking crazy and probably get, upset that she got caught on her shit. But see, that's kind of conversation to a complete stranger is unnecessary. It's ungracious, it's uncouth, it's rude as fuck, and just ghetto and ignorant. And I would have had to tell her all of those things. Say, I came over here thinking that you had some good goddamn sense, so I see I was wrong, so let me deuce out over here. And then you go on about your business. But you have to clown her first. I mean, I'm sure there could be some other stuff I could have thought of based upon to say rude back based upon what they look like and stuff like that. But you didn't describe them at all, and I have no visual, to do. But that's how I usually do stuff. When they talk about something that how I look, I talk about something about how they look. It's like, usually when girls like you Jolly Green Giant with them size 12 ass feet you got. Goddamn roach stomping bitch. I mean, whatever. I don't know, but I mean, based on what she looked like, a lot of the wearing all the weave that there is at the beauty salon. You can talk about that. I mean, whatever. But you have to be ready when you go up to somebody like that. You got to be ready to cap back. You can't just let them talk to you like that and run away with your tail between your legs. It don't matter how tall you are. There's some woman out there somewhere for you. And if the women are that tall, then maybe you should go more for women that's more your height or a little shorter. There's plenty of them. I know. Y'all over there laughing, but I'm telling you, I know my little rude ass. I would have had to crack on them. There's no way you're going to say some shit like that to me and I'm going to just let you live through it without getting some heat back. The Sasquatch ass bitches. He's sitting up there being like 5'11" and shit with them size 12 feet. Sitting up there talking about somebody short. Shit, 90% of the world shorter than your giant ass. Shut up. Yeah, he does need to keep shooting his shot. Don't let them don't derail you like that. But like I said, you got to get your game face up. You're gonna be dealing with people in the clubs. That's a tough crowd. Especially when it's a group of them, 2 or 3 of them together, they're gonna have some courage that they wouldn't have by themselves. Because people be showing out. But then basically what you saw, they probably look cute, but there's some ignorant little ghetto bitches. That's why she said that. So, she saved you from embarrassment because you might have wanted to take her out to date and spend some money on her and all this kind of stuff, thinking that, you could get something going with this little silly little old. And she already showed her ass, so it saved you from that. So just think of it like that, okay? Don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at you that she told you about herself, so she saved you, and you saved at least $50 for buying her a drink and all kind of stuff. Look at all the money you saved, dude. To come to California, you can take me out. I'm short. Yeah, short women do get most of the play. Because tall dudes like short women, and short men like short women. So, main thing was, did you see a crowd of dudes around them? Was they stand up there by themselves? I would have had to remind them of that too. Like, well, you stupid ass bitch, I don't see no crowd of men around trying to get at you. Your mouth is an instant deterrent from any man with any sense, ignorant bitch. I mean, I would have had to say some crazy shit to her. I wouldn't have been able to rest. That might not be your personality, though. You might not want to do things like that. Can you imagine, Shay? The 2 of us in a club? We would probably get thrown out. I've been thrown out of many clubs, especially in Houston. Oh, man. They used to toss my ass out all the time because I'd be getting in fights with people. I've been those wonderful memories. Question number 13. This is a female in the 42 to 49 age group. She's African American, a Virgo from San Francisco, and she's writing about a male, also black, 57 to 65 age group, and he's an Aquarius. Aquarius man. With a Virgo woman. Well, let's see this story. Hello, Deborah. I am currently living with my fiance along with my 8-year-old son. We have been engaged since 2020. He is about 14, I said 4, but he's 14 years older than me, and he doesn't have any children of his own. Okay, he's 8, he's 14 years older. Oof. We have not discussed a wedding date, and for the past 6 months, we have not been intimate. We barely talk to each other to the point that I don't feel like I really know him. After I got my LMFT license just in this last 30 days, he started to attempt to discuss setting a wedding date. I stopped him in his tracks before he could finish his sentence and suggested we talk to a premarital counselor to discuss why he hasn't even tried to touch or talk to me. It has been 3 weeks since that conversation. So far, he hasn't looked for a counselor when I explained where he could find one. At this point, I feel like he's set in his ways and will not change. He says he wants to marry me, but I need questions answered, and I really feel like he's trying to avoid the issue. I have things I would like to do, such as buy a home for me and my son. If I buy it, do you think this relationship is a waste of time? If I continue to wait, or should I just move out and move on? Thank you, Deborah. I would move out and move on because of the fact that, it's not like this just happened. You've been dealing with this shit for 6 months. You're too young for this. He's 14 years old. You know what he's looking for? He's looking for somebody with a good job and some money. So he's going to provide the house, and you'll be the nurse with the purse, taking care of his old crotchety ass. That's what he's looking for. So you need to deuce out while you're still young enough to find you somebody else. Because this dude, it might be convenient for you and all of that. And if you could stand it, while you stack your money since you just got your LMFT, while you stack your money, you want to stay there and do that, then fine. But you don't marry him. Don't do it. You'll be stuck. Then he's going to, let you know when he got like diabetes and he got all this other stuff. And you're going to feel like, well, since I'm his wife, I need to stay and take care of him. Don't do it. Don't fall into the trap. Get out now. Get out. Get out. This dude. Yeah, he ain't trying to go to counseling. He's getting everything he wants out the situation. But it's not meeting your needs. So as the person who's complaining, that means it's up to you to take action, not him. Question number 14, male 22 to 27. He's African American from Toledo, Ohio. I'm a 22-year-old student and quite new to the clubbing scene. I don't think I'm a shy type personally, but maybe I am, which is why I'm a late bloomer. When I'm at the clubs with my friends, I'm the one to initiate contact every time with ladies at the dance floor / bar counters. 9 out of 10 times they are happy to dance with me and seem like they're having a good time dancing and drinking with me. I usually get their Insta, and when I hit them up the next day, they don't seem to reply back with the same energy. So I never ask them out another time. Am I doing something wrong, or is that how it is? Yes, you big dummy. What you talking about? Insta? You know that phone that you're using to look up their Insta? You get their phone number, you big dummy. You get their name, you big dummy. And then you call them like a man. You don't be trying to find somebody some roundabout, stupid ass way on Insta. Who told you that was a good idea? You know why they don't respond? Because they think you're stupid, lame, and lazy. That's what you're doing wrong. You're just being a lazy bum. No woman wants to respond to some bullshit like that. Am I right, ladies? Am I right? Some dude gonna hit you up on the social media. He don't even call you. He don't even text you directly. He hits you up on some third-party platform and thinks that that's gonna be a way to get you. I would cuss his ass out. I know, hitting them up on their Insta. But the main thing is, if you don't, you don't hit them, if you don't get the woman's number. Like you ask for a number, she says no, then you know that it was just fun for the evening. Okay. If you ask her for a number and she gives you a fake number, or you call her and she never responds, well then now you know for sure. But by doing it the way that you're doing it, it could be, like I said, that she might have been interested, but the way that you chose to contact her was so lame and so impersonal that she just thought you were stupid and a dusty, and so she just scrapped you. So the only way you're going to know for sure if a woman was interested or not is if you call her like a grown-ass man should. Okay? So let's just get away from this social media contact stuff and use your phone for what it was intended for, which was making calls. My God, these dudes these days are just so fucked up. How are you supposed to build a rapport to a woman through Instagram? For real? You really think that's a good idea and that you're all going to build some great understanding of each other through Instagram? You sound like a fool. And whoever told you that, you need to slap them. My God. Okay, let's move on. Question number 15. Male, 35 to 41, African American from Dallas, Texas. The female he's writing about is in the 28 to 34 age group, so she's younger. I'm writing to you because I read your book on the Black church. Well, I am now living that in real life. I recently discovered that my wife, we're 39 and 33, was tithing $300 per paycheck to her church. After I got a text from the bank saying the account was overdrawn by $700 because the mortgage and bills had come out. As a result, my savings account is nearly depleted because it's tied into the checking for overdraft protection. I confronted her about it and she said, well, you know I'm tithing. Yes, I know, but I never knew it was that much. That could have been a double payment on her car loan or the financing on the furnace we just last summer when ours crapped out. I'm not a religious guy, so she feels I'm attacking her. I really don't care if she's religious, but she says she doesn't want to stop this after she told me that she would because the Bible tells us to be good Christians and it's what I am called to do. I am totally staggered. She would rather us be broke and her church rich. To totally at a loss of what to do. She really fucked up the budget behind my back. I don't know what to do. Any ideas? Separate your money from hers immediately. Give her a bill for what she has to pay. And say, if you can still pay all of this and whatever else you need to do, gas for your car, insurance for your car, and all that stuff, and then still give them $300, then you do that. But as of this moment, I'm not contributing shit to that fucked up church. And anything that you give them is going to come out of your pocket. Okay, you're going to be the one suffering. Because you're not going to have, how you going to get to work? Because I'm not giving you a dime. You better think about this shit. See, right now, she has the cushion of your wallet to give all this money. But once you snatch that away from her, she's going to have to deal with it on her own. And she's going to see real quick that $300 every paycheck is ridiculous. Maybe $20. That would be the most they can get out of me. But, really zero. But I'm just saying. And then ask her to show you where in the Bible it says that you need to tithe. Because I did some great research on that book. There's only one tribe of people that are supposed to tithe, and niggas ain't that tribe. Okay, let me just be blunt. That ain't you. So ain't nobody else obligated to tithe, nothing. What's being this prosperity gospel, they're dipping in people's pockets while these pastors are driving Rolls Royces and everybody else is taking a bus. That's what's really going on. Your wife is stupid, sir. So you're going to have to do what I said, immediately go down to the bank, close that account, take her name off of all the accounts, and make her do this on her own. She will soon see when she don't have no money, and you not giving her nothing. I'm telling you, don't feel sorry for her. If she got to take the bus because she can't afford to buy no gas for her car because she tithed all her money away, let her little ass suffer like that. Let her stand out in that heat. And when it's raining, let her stand in that wind and cold and snow. Let her do that so she can see what it's like. Because like right now, like I said, you cushioning the blow. But make sure she gives you your money, whatever she's supposed to pay for the household, gives you that money first so she can keep all the rest. If she has any left. Yeah. You would think that she would have that much sense, but that's not how these people do. They want all this acknowledgement. See, again, they want the type of personality that wants acknowledgement. She wants acknowledgement by the pastor that she's a good Christian because she's giving them all her money. So her family, her children, her husband, their household is suffering, but she don't care because she's, getting this pat on the back from the pastor. So it's an interesting dynamic when people think like that. Question number 16, male, 22 to 27. He's African American from Orlando, Florida. The female in question is 28 to 34 age group. Also, she's older, and she's Latina. So I'm 25. Recently met this woman at work. She's 29. This young lady is amazing, head to toe, flat out. I've been getting to know her, and recently found out that she has an 8-year-old son. Everyone in my life is telling me to avoid it completely, but it sucks because I'm torn. I really like her. We are going very slow, so it's not too late for me to walk away. I've read a ton of horror stories about this experience. Any advice or tips? I'm going to say this. If you listen to what, other people's experience is not yours. First of all, let me just say this. Have you ever been around kids? Do you know anything about kids? That could be like a culture shock for you if you've never even been around little kids. There's no little kids in your family, you don't have any younger siblings, that kind of stuff. That's one question to think about. The second is, is the father in the child's life. You putting all this worry on it and stuff, there may not be any pressure on you to do anything because the kid's father's handling everything. Just because a woman has a kid, that does not mean that she's raising it by herself. Okay, they're just not together. But the father could be very active in the child's life. You don't know that because you ain't talking about it. Number three is, until you meet the child and see how the child is, and, is the child wild or disabled? I mean, is the child, well behaved and smart? I mean, what's going on with the kid? The kid might be easy to get along with, might decide the kid likes you and wants to be your best friend, all kinds of stuff. You just don't know how these things are going to go. So there's so many unanswered questions here. So for you to be jumping to conclusions about, quote, nightmares based on other people's experiences is ridiculous. They don't have nothing to do with you. They don't have nothing to do with her. Live your own life, sir. Stop running like a little coward based on some shit that somebody else did or said. You ain't them. Your situation's not them. Make your own choices in your own life based on your situation and your assessments. That's what real men do. Okay, they don't run around like little babies being scared because of what happened to some other punk. That's what you sound like right now, a little bitch. So stop it. I'm just really not feeling you at all. It's something to think about, like I said, but you don't have enough information to really think about nothing because you ain't asked no questions. You just like, oh, she got a kid and you freaking out about it. I mean, do a little research first. Okay? Ask her about the kid. Ask her about her relationship with the child's father. Get some information and then make an informed decision. Right now, you just basing it on fear about what some other motherfuckers you probably said or found online had to say. That makes you sound real stupid. Okay, so don't do that. Man up and make an intelligent decision. You may decide it's not for you, and that's fine. But base that decision on facts. Right now, you don't have any. You just run around on emotion. It's stupid. Question number 17, female, 18 to 21. She's African American from San Jose, California. Male in question is 18 to 21, also mixed race. Hi, Deb and Squad. Thank you, Candace, for choosing my letter. I really need some help figuring this out. I'm a 19-year-old full-time college student, and my boyfriend is 21. He's not in college, but he has a full-time job. We have been having issues with who pays for the birth control. I'm not wealthy. I'm going to college on scholarships, and I'm taking on a lot of classes. I don't have a job. My parents are kind enough to fund me an allowance every month that covers the cost of my groceries, basic hygiene, school supplies, etc. I paid $20 a month for my birth control pills the last year. No, I don't have health insurance. I stopped taking birth control pills due to the side effects I've been having. It just wasn't worth it anymore. My boyfriend said that I need to go to the store to get condoms when he comes over next weekend. And I told him that I've been spending $20 a month for the last year on birth control, and he never pitched in for that. But he wants me to go to the store and buy condoms now. I told him I'm not doing it, and he got upset and called me cheap. I am very upset because he already knows I don't have money, and I barely make it on what I have, and he's the only one with a full-time job, and he knows he makes well enough since he's always spending $100 plus on sports jerseys. How should I handle this? You don't give him no nookie. Sorry, I pressed the button there. So you tell him that if he really believes that he don't want to afford it, he don't want to buy it, and whatever, then tell him, well, they'll stay home then, because there will be no nookie getting around here. You're going to pay for it. If you don't want to, then that's it. And you really should be making them pay for your personal hygiene products too. Anything to do with that particular part of your body that he's, because we want to use all them washes and sprays and spritzes and all this kind of stuff to feel fresh after. And now he should be buying all of that too. He's the one that's dirtying it up. My father told me that, and he's a man. Said any man, that's part of the fucking for free. You gonna let him just dirty up your sheets and dirty up your body, and then just get up and walk away? No, you want to be using all that summer's eve and all that kind of shit. That motherfucker need to be funding that. He don't want to be all up in it. You know what I mean? They should be buying your period products as well. You know why? Because he should be happy that you having one other than being pregnant, hitting his ass up with child support. So, you pay that $7 a box for them little pads or whatever, this motherfucker be happy. That's way cheaper than child support. So that's the kind of thing my own father used to say that that's what a man should do. He want to be tapping that ass and y'all just letting him just get away and you going broke trying to pay for birth control? I wish I would. I wish I would. I'm never gonna do that. I don't even buy lingerie. They were like, well, why don't you put some lingerie on? Here go Deb with my hand out. And they'd be like, well, you just go buy it. No, you give me your credit card or you give me some money and I'll buy it. That's what you want. So, or here's my size right here. You just go buy something that fits my size. Stuff like that. I don't know. A lot of women seem to be scared to do that. But I'm telling you, if he can't come unask some money to keep everything crisp and clean, then he don't need none. He don't need to be up in it. That's just the way I feel. And my daddy agrees with me. So there you go. Y'all be letting these men just get away with murder. It's just unbelievable. He gonna try to argue about it and get an attitude. And calling you cheap, well, guess what? You gonna be calling yourself pussyless because you ain't getting none, not from me. And I bet you go do something with some other bitch. I bet your ass gonna roll up there with some condoms. So I bet you could do it with me. There you go. Question number 18, female, 22 to 27. She's Caucasian from St. Paul, Minnesota. Just an interesting mix. Since we added that race feature. I mean, some people don't fill it in, but it's just really interesting, the ones that do. And to see the wide variety of people that write in, it's just really kind of amazing. She says, this is more of a vent than an advice question, but I would like your opinion on it. There's a loud minority of toxic men on social media that shame women for having boundaries, sexual, and maybe not wanting to sleep with a guy within the first month of dating. Yes, I'm aware that there's plenty of women that love that hookup culture, and that's awesome. I'm also aware that there are plenty of people that end up in long-term relationships that hooked up on the first night, and I'm totally for that. Every relationship is different. But I'm strictly talking about men online that I see commenting on women's posts, blaming her for having any kind of sexual boundaries. I've seen posts where the girl mentions that she would prefer to wait until they're in a relationship until she sleeps with a guy. You would not believe the amount of toxic comments on these posts from these types of men saying that she's using him, playing games, or no man would wait a month to sleep with a woman, and she's insane for thinking that, or my favorite, that he needs to sleep with a woman before committing to a relationship to see if they're sexually compatible. Yeah, I bet you. Do they not know that you do not have to sleep with someone before committing to be boyfriend and girlfriend? First of all, if you are physically attracted to each other, you can kind of assume that you will be compatible, since there are other things you can do with someone that does not involve whoopee. You can fool around with each other and kind of get an idea of what it would be like. But say on the off chance that you're not sexually compatible, then you can just break up, right? I think a lot of people confuse marriage with boyfriend and girlfriend. Also, sexual compatibility is important, yes, but it's not the most important thing in a relationship. It is natural after years of being together that eventually you're not going to want to jump in bed together every night like you used to when you first got together. I don't know, maybe it's a super unpopular opinion, but I feel like a lot of men that are like this are just mad that a woman may have some boundaries and not just want to give access to her body to any old guy that shows interest. And yes, I know it's not all men, it's mostly the nice guys on these platforms that probably never got laid to begin with. Do you agree? Oh, absolutely. You know why? Let me tell you why. Because the guys that are getting the poontang are not online complaining about women giving it up. They're sitting there with their hands behind their head, nude, waiting for her to come into the room so they can get busy. They're not online complaining. So you're exactly right. All the guys complaining about it have not seen pussy except on a screen, across their computer, or on their phone. But they're mad that women give it up, but not to them. That's what the real trick is here. They want women to just give it up just willy-nilly to them, because then they feel like, well, if she's just loose and easy with it, then I have a chance to get some because she's not going to be very discriminating. That's why they're complaining. So, you're kind of on the right track, but that's really what the story is. They're hoping that, so when they see a woman that has standards, they get concerned because they know they're not going to meet someone, which means that they will forever and endlessly be alone, lonely, horny little dweebs. They'll never get no nookie, ever. So when women have standards, they know they'll be eliminated because they don't have nothing to offer a woman. Not only that, they can't fuck anyway because they don't know what they're doing. Most of them, instead of looking at those weirdo movies, should be reading a book like Masters and Johnson or something, learning some technique, learning about women's bodies, educating themselves so that when they do get the opportunity to jump into bed with a woman, they will know what they're doing, at least intellectually, and they can put those with things they learn to practice, and then hopefully they will press all the right buttons to have her hit Mars, and then they'll get around 2, 3, 67, a relationship, a wife. But no, 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 they don't do that. They would rather sit there and bitch and complain about what women do instead of trying to meet women's needs and standards. So when I see men like this, I just roll my eyes and don't really say too much to them. But that's what's really going on, girlfriend. They ain't never gonna get none because they too busy online complaining about women who do. Question number 19. This is a male in the 20 to 34 age group. He's white, a Capricorn from Lexington, Kentucky. The female in question is 20 to 34, and she's white and a Pisces. I'm 30 years old, and I've been seeing a 30-year-old woman for almost a year, and things have been fantastic. We read similar books, watch similar shows, and have a great deal in common. It's been an idyllic year. I have 2 mixed race kids from a previous marriage to a black woman, a boy and a girl, both are under 8, that are my world. They're all, see, I was wondering, I was like, why did he write to me? But now I see. I only get them twice a month. They live several hours away, and seeing them has always been a private time with just the 3 of us since my divorce. I love our time together. Now, my girlfriend has never wanted kids of her own, but she isn't opposed to meeting and being a part of my kids' lives. It honestly seemed perfect to me. She hasn't been around many children before now, and she was pretty anxious about making a good first impression. We made a plan to introduce her to the kids. A picnic at the local park where my ex-wife could be present and everyone could meet. The plan has been set for 2 months, and we finally went through with it. Everything went as well as could be expected. The kids were shy and wanted to play more than talk, but that was exactly what we were at the park for making sure they had room to run and get their nervous energy out. They talked to my girlfriend a bit, and my ex-wife made casual small talk, and everything seemed fine. Hmm. We parted after the park, just the kids and I went home, and though the topic of my girlfriend came up a few times over dinner, the kids seemed to like her. I put the kids to bed and stood a moment, shocked to find that something just feels off. I'm super anxious, despite everyone seeming really okay and normal. Nothing went wrong, nothing really changed. Just subtly, I'm not sure I want to see her anymore. I'm going to give it a few days to let my emotions settle and see if I can figure out why I feel this way. I don't have anyone in my life to talk to about this. This though, which is why I'm writing to you. I'm seeking reassurance or advice on someone to slap me and tell me, get a grip, man. You're not going to hear that from me. What I'm going to say is sometimes, we call it like that inner sense, women's intuition when it's a woman. I'm going to say that you sense something. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you sense something. You might want to talk to the kid's mother about what she thought. Something's bothering you, and instead of trying to poo-poo it or tell you, get a grip and all that kind of stuff, something's bothering you. You picked up on something as somebody who's only a white guy that's been in an interracial relationship can do. You picked up on something. Tune into it, get still, and think. What was said? What energy did you pick up? Did you feel that she did or said something that made your kids tense up? Did you feel that she did or said something that made your ex tense up? And you're concerned that her attitude or something that you heard or said, and it may have been inadvertent, like I said in the show a couple of weeks ago. A lot of white people have biases that no one's ever questioned. They've never questioned it. No one's ever pointed out to them. And then when they do get, called out on it, they feel ashamed of themselves. They don't really see themselves as having any kind of racist tendencies. But, sometimes this stuff is so deeply ingrained from childhood that they're always around other white people, so they never really get challenged on it. So I'm not saying that it's bad or that she was doing it intentional or she knew I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying sometimes these things happen because people just have not been around many other races and cultures, and so it's a foreign thing to them, and they say and do shit that they really shouldn't say and do. So it could be something like that, but only I'm just kind of trying to help you walk through this and think about it. But it's something that's bothering you to the point where you're not even sure you want to see her anymore. Dude, that's serious. I can't imagine. I mean, look at the chat and see if they have any ideas for what they think it might be. But I'm picking up on that, and I'm gonna say it may be something like that. Okay, so just slow down, give it some serious thought. Don't make any decisions yet, but really think about it and talk to your kids and talk to the ex and get clear on what everybody's felt and thought about her, and then make your decision. Question number 20. We have 26 questions today for those who keep track. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Des Moines, Iowa. There's a girl at work who I really like. She is truly a beautiful soul inside and out. Though she claims to have a boyfriend, she continuously tells me how handsome I am and what a great guy I am and asks why I'm still single. Of course, I would never interfere with her existing relationship, so I've kept my feelings to myself. She told me and other coworkers yesterday that she resigned to move on to another position and gave her 2 weeks' notice. I never felt this way about anyone before and now feel as though I was punched in the stomach. My question is, do I tell her how I feel about her? If yes, what should I say? If not, why not? This is my first time feeling this way and I'm not sure how to handle it. I would suggest that since she's leaving, that you offer to, this is similar to the other dude, he was leaving though, that you offer to take her for a goodbye lunch. Something, work at work. Or if you want to do it after work, then say, like the day before her last day or something like that, to take her out for after work drinks, just as a friend. You know how to do it, that friend thing. And see what she says. She may say, well, I don't think my boyfriend would like it, or I already have plans or whatever. At least, try. You don't want to kick yourself the rest of your life and say, well, I wonder what would happen if I had. So that's why you do it now. The worst that can happen is that she says no. The best that can happen is that you go. The worst that can happen if you go is that you find out that she really is in love with this dude and she's going to another job and they're going to get engaged and she's serious about him and all this other stuff, in which case you can let this go. Or she may tell you that they had big fights and she's thinking about breaking up with him, in which you may have a chance. But see, you'll never know until you actually ask her out and go for this alleged goodbye thing under the cloak. We're doing cloak and daggers here. Okay? That's what you're gonna do. I think it'll be good for you. Question number 21, a young man in the 22 to 27 age group, African American. He's a Cancer from Manchester in the UK. The female in question is 22 to 27 as well, and she is mixed race. So I've been dating this girl. She's 23, I'm 25, for a year. She gets angry at me and yells at me and blames me for it if anything goes wrong in her life. She also frequently demeans me, emotionally and mentally abuses me. And you still with you a year? Whenever I tell her that she should stop doing that to me and whatever she does is toxic, she says that I'm being childish, immature, and not masculine. She again tells me that all men are able to tolerate this kind of behavior from their girlfriends except me. Now, my question to all the women of your squad is this. Is it normal for a woman to behave like this? What should I do? It has become very hard for me to tolerate such behavior. But I am unable to break up with her because I really do love her. Well, I'm going to tell you just like I tell women. You better love yourself. Yeah, cancers, they look good. They just be hanging on, honey. Them little crabs, like that little crab thing. Child, did I tell you about the time a crab got a hold of my finger? I thought I was going to die. I felt stupid because my daddy told me to stay away from the crabs. But did I listen? No. We had a bucket with crabs. We was crabbing as a family. And all the crabs were going in the bucket. And stupid little me, I was probably about 7, going to stick my hand in there to try to pet the crab. That crab got a hold of my finger. And, I had a mark on my finger. It like bit my finger. Because, as kids, your bones are still soft, right? That thing held onto my finger so hard, it kind of bit my finger. And I was screaming and running around like a maniac, and my daddy was chasing me on the pier. He was laughing, but he was chasing me to try to get it off. So, yeah. Just picturing that in that real life grab that cancer do, that way they hang on, that's how you are. In fact, that you're getting abused and everything is irrelevant to the fact that you just can't let go with your little crabby self. Just hanging on. I can't do it. I'm trying to figure out why you hang around and take this. I mean, it's great that you love somebody, but sir, how can you love someone else when you're not loving yourself? It's like you're not demonstrating self-love. So that means, do you really understand what love is? This is some kind of weird, twisted attachment that you have to this sick, twisted girl. But this is not a healthy relationship, nor is this love. I don't know what this is. You would do best to get rid of her. If you don't want to get rid of her, then you're going to have to fight fire with fire, my favorite technique. And when she starts calling you names, call her something back. And she gets angry too, get angry back. When she yells at you, yell back. Sometimes people who do stuff like this, they don't realize how it sounds and how it feels until it happens to them. Like my little cousin who wanted to bite everybody till I bit his little fucking ass and tried to go all the way through to the bone. After that, he stopped biting people because he realized that it hurts. So she might be like that. She doesn't understand how it feels because no one's ever done it to her. You see what I mean? She demeans you and verbally abuses you and stuff. See, yeah, no. No, I would have a field day with her. I would be doing that right back. But you sound like a nice guy who probably doesn't want to do that. So your only option is going to be to leave her alone. My concern is, though, since you seem to tolerate this so well and so long, that you could get rid of her and just go find somebody else to repeat the same pattern with. That's my concern. Question number 22, female 20 to 34, from Milton Keynes in the UK. I've been with my partner, probably ex at this point, for 3 years. There has been no physical contact for 8 months. I gained about 2 stone because my thyroid stopped working, and it's taken a year for the doctor to give me the correct dose of thyroid replacement. I know I'm overweight, and I know it's a lot of weight to gain. How much is 2 stone? All my UK people, how does that translate into pounds? I'm curious. When I met my partner, I was a 14, 16. I'm now a UK size 18. Oh, so what, 2 stone is probably, what, 10 pounds? That's good, Gabriella. People will need that help. Think it's 10 pounds? A stone is 10 pounds? Okay. So we were in my local pub last night, and he was on Facebook messaging his friend when some random woman popped up. I asked who it was, and he claimed he didn't know her, even though she is on his friends list. I wasn't accusing him of anything, just interested. We came back to mine where he started to call me names. He said the reason we don't have physical contact is because I'm so fat and I should have tried harder to lose weight. I'm on 1,200 calories max a day. I know I'm overweight. He stormed off drunk to drive home. What if he got in an accident? That might be nice. 2 stones is 28 pounds. Oh, so it's not 10 pounds, it's 14 pounds. Oh, yeah, that's a good little amount. It's almost 30 pounds. That's a lot. Okay. I thank you. I'm feeling absolutely disgusted about myself today and devastated to the point where I think I can no longer leave the house. He also said that people in his local pub where we used to meet are talking about me, calling me fat and ugly. Please help me, Dad, with some of your fiery energy. Well, you know what, you guys live together? That's what it sounds like. Your best bet would be to get rid of him. I mean, you're never going to feel better. You're never going to start healing from this as long as this guy keeps dumping all the stuff on you and you keep taking it. This is sad. This is supposed to be somebody who loves you, and this is how he talks to you and treats you. There we go. It never fails. With the windows wide open. Okay, so he's calling you fat and ugly. And it's bothering you. I mean, I don't know because I'm not getting the energy that you have the strength or the personality to fight back. I'm getting this defeated energy, like you just, you're crushed and you just don't know what else to do. The only thing that you can do is to find the energy somewhere, somehow, to get out of this relationship. He's trying to get you to break up with him. This is how dudes treat you when they're ready to go. The woman that came into the bar that's on his friends list, that's probably where he's headed. So he's trying to get you to have the courage to break up with him so that he doesn't have to be the bad guy. That's how most dudes play it. They don't want to do it. He wants you to do it. So you need to find the courage and the self-respect to get rid of him. No woman should let herself be talked to like this. The more you let him talk to you and treat you like this, the more he's going to up the ante and disrespect you. And he's going to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it until you finally either break or wake up and get rid of him. Okay? That's where you're headed. He left drunk and stuff to drive. Where did you say he left drunk to drive home? Wait, is that what I read? Yes, okay, so you don't live together. That's good. So you can just break up. He left drunk to drive home. He probably went back to the bar, I'm betting, to see that girl. That was his excuse, to create a fight so that he could get out and be alone with her. That's also a typical game. So all in all, I'm not seeing where this relationship is going to be anything for you to be in. There's nothing about this that's healthy and loving and warm for you. And I think when you have the peace of mind to start focusing on yourself again, that you'll get this, you'll start exercising and doing everything that you need to do to get your thyroid under control, and then you can, you start to lose the weight. Did they tell you about iodine? You eat more fish, seaweed, that kind of stuff? Or do you have hype? No, you don't have hyper, you have hypo. Yeah, talk to your doctor to see a nutritionist about what you can add to your diet, the kind of supplements to help your thyroid heal. Question number 23, female, 22 to 27. She's African American from Calgary, Canada. The male in question is 20 to 34. He's mixed race. I'm 25 and have been dating my 28-year-old boyfriend for 2 years now. We are very serious with each other, have already established how in game we are, have met each other's families, and we are both enthusiastically planning for the future. Basically, we are extremely close and compatible, and he's told me several times that he's waiting for me to say I'm ready so he can pop the question. With all that said, we are both very open with each other, and he's always makes sure I remember the passcode to his phone, which I've never gone through the entire time we've been together until yesterday. He went on a trip to the U.S., to Florida. So you're in Calgary, so he went to Florida, okay, a month ago with his guy friends, which I, of course, was so excited about for him to go on that I didn't even text him much so he could be fully present. When I went through his phone, I found that he had downloaded Tinder twice, as he had 2 verification texts from the app 5 hours apart. And during that time, he was on the trip. When I looked for the app icon on his phone, it wasn't downloaded. I downloaded it to see if his profile would load and then realized it was manually hidden on his iPhone. I also saw on Instagram that he had DM'd one girl who was also there on vacation for a midnight stroll. Oh, he was just all busy, wasn't he? I don't know what to make of all this, and I'm coming up with so many excuses to rationalize his behavior. Several layers to this bewilder me and is upsetting me to sit on this without getting some clarity. I also know I'm very much in the wrong for looking through his phone. How do I ask him about this? What you gonna ask him? You got all the evidence you need. Your boyfriend went to Florida and he fucked some other bitch while he was there. What do you need? He found her on Tinder. He went there with the intention of doing that, because you don't just go on vacation and just accidentally download Tinder and just accidentally send somebody a text. So what is it you want to ask him, really? I'm trying to figure what it is that you're not clear on. You're talking about you need to get some clarity. What's unclear about that? You got cheated on in Florida. Now, if you want to stay with a man who cheats on you when he's supposed to be on vacation with his friends, then you continue this relationship. If you're not going to tolerate that kind of disrespect and that kind of risk to your health, because you don't know what he did with this chick, then you break up and then you move on. But the fact that you keep trying to rationalize behavior lets me know that you're not ready to do that. You want him to lie to you. That's why you want to talk about it. You want him to lie to you so you can stay in the relationship and delude yourself. And so since he gets away with it, he's going to continue to do it more and more. And pretty soon he's going to just bring the girl in the house and put her in the bed with you and be like, oh, look, this is my new girl and you're the old one and let's party. And you're going to just be sitting there looking stupid and won't be shit you can say because you would have accepted this behavior all along. That's where you're headed. Wow. They take so much disrespect. Oh my God. I cannot even imagine. I don't even want mine talking to no other bitch. You can't even talk to her, let alone text her and let alone get hooked with somebody on Tinder. We're not doing none of that. Instant X. Instant X. I mean, like, I can't even say the words fast enough. That's how fast you be fired. Question number 24, female, 22 to 27. She's Caucasian. From what is this? Kearsley? Never heard of this one. Kearsley, Greater Manchester in the UK. Playing hard to get has never helped me. At 23, after 5 years of dating, I am just starting to realize this. I've been told ever since I began taking an interest in boys to play hard to get. I've been told to have the man initiate everything. Don't appear interested, but interested at the same time. Say no when a guy asks you to hang out the first time. Somebody told you that? None of that has ever helped me. Granted, I've been in 2 relationships which I found due to pure luck, but playing hard to get has never helped me in the long run. If anything, most of the time I've attracted guys with no sense of boundaries. Though they've taken my distance as a means to be persistent to the point my boundaries were crossed. Other guys who liked me eventually thought I wasn't interested in them, even though I was. I even had a guy go out with another woman just to get to me jealous enough that I'll make a move. I don't know why to this day people, especially women, are told to play hard to get. It creates confusion, missed opportunities, and moments of boundaries being overstepped. Deb, has any woman ever been successful in playing hard to get? I'm going to tell you something. You don't play hard to get. That's a silly, immature game. You be hard to get. There's a difference. Playing is a game. It's toying with somebody. It's putting up, doing all this silly stuff right here that you don't mean, that's immature, and that's just ridiculous with the goal of getting some manipulative outcome. By being hard to get, that, what do I mean? That means that you're a woman with boundaries. That means you have strict standards. That means that you have expectations and you let him know what they are. That means that you don't just drop everything to be with a man. He has to fit into your schedule. He got to get in where he fits in because you have a full and exciting and rewarding and successful life. If he's going to come into your world, he's got to add to that. That's what being hard to get means, that the guy has to rise to the occasion and step up. When you play hard to get, you're really not. You're just playing a game. You're really just sitting there by the phone. But then when he does call, then you just play the game and like, oh no, I can't go. Knowing full well that that's what you want to do is go. A woman who is hard to get will be like, this is the difference. So you say no just because you're playing the game. The woman who is hard to be like, oh, that sounds really wonderful, but I'm sorry, I already have plans that evening. I'm meeting some clients or whatever. I'm taking my mother and father, whatever she's doing. But I'm free on such and such a day. Would that work for you? You see what I mean? See the difference? There's not a game. It's real. That is when a man will respect you, and that is when he will be like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll try to make that work. If it doesn't work for him, then he'll say, okay, well, he'll propose some other alternate day. But y'all going to figure it out because he want to be with you and you want to be with him, and you're not playing silly games. You actually are living your life, and you're not just putting it aside because he's there. He's going to have to fit into your world. That's the difference. So I'm just unfortunate that people told you these silly things and that you listen to them, but that's the difference, okay? You don't play hard to get, you be hard to get. And it's not because you don't want the man or you don't want to be around him. It's because you have a full life and he's got to make the move to fit into it. Difference. Question number 25 of 26, so we got 2 more to go. Female, 28 to 34, London in the UK. She's a Leo and she's African American or black, whatever. I want to get your advice on having a child on my own using a donor sperm. I've been single for the majority of my life. I am bi, but I've only had a few intimate experiences with either sex. I have a good job. I earn around £200,000. I have not dated men because I have a low opinion of them and just feel like they are not really worth it. I've dated women, but I find myself holding back emotionally. It becomes just eggplant and I feel unfulfilled. I feel that if I were to settle down to marry and have children, it should be with a man. But Deb, the men available are just not it. So I'm considering getting pregnant using a donor. I own my home and I work from home. I have good friends and a few cousins nearby who would help me where they could, but I'm able to hire any help that I need. I feel that this may be a selfish decision. I know a two-parent home provides the best outcomes for children, so even though I have money, I can't help but feel that my children would suffer. What is your opinion of donor conception? I also feel that I haven't really given dating men a proper go. Do I owe it to my future kids to at least try to find a good father for them? Will my future kids suffer not knowing where they came from? Thanks. P.S. I love what you do and I'm wishing you well in your recovery. They keep being fantastic. Well, thank you. I definitely will take that to heart. I don't have a problem with it because I say this. Yeah, two-parent homes have what am I trying to say? Some statistical advantages. But you know what it really is? Two people who love the kid. So that the parenting is shared. So it can be two people. It doesn't have to be the sperm donor and the mama. It doesn't have to be the mama. I mean, you know what I mean? It could be any combination. So it could be you with a future husband. So the kid has a stepfather. Or, a father that's not the sperm donor person. It could be you raising your kid with the help of an older brother, or your father, whatever. It, as long as the child has love coming from multiple sources, support coming from multiple sources, that's what really is versus just one parent. It's too much for one person to do. So, by having people that back each other up and provide support and can kind of share the workload is what makes the better environment for the child. It does not have to be the one who actually made the baby. If that were the case, then we would see way more problems because a lot of these people, the father's in the home, but he's a knucklehead. He's abusive. He's an alkie. He's a druggie. He's half there. I mean, he's, emotionally distant. He's in prison. I mean, whatever. But, technically, this two-parent household, doing criminal stuff all over the kid. I mean, just all kind of stuff happens. But two-parent household. So I'm never going to be one who says that it has to be a two-parent household. I think having two healthy people in the household that love and support the child is what the key is. But just in the dynamic here, and the most common in the United States and based on religion is the mother and the father, and that can work, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, it doesn't have to be. Now, will the child resent not having a father? I'm not psychic. I have no way to know that. So it depends on how you present it. Like, I wanted you so bad, and I found a way to make that happen. You might want to join some of these groups. I know they have groups on social media with, women who have done that, and they provide support to each other. That might be a good thing for you to investigate. And then that way you can get an idea of what kind of problems they've had and how they overcame them. And then you can, use some of their tried and true techniques. And the final question, hold on. The final question of the day, question number 26. This is a young lady, 18 to 21, from Renton, Washington. The male is 22 to 27. She says, Deb, my ex-boyfriend has been contacting me, but this time he took it too far, and I'm freaking out. I need some advice. I'm 21, and my first love, he's 23, broke up with me 6 months ago after over 2 years together. Really, because he comes from a very strict family who saw us as too culturally different. It would have been hell to convince them. It's probably the hardest thing emotionally I've ever been through, and I think I've been through a fair amount. So we have caught up very lightly since our breakup, around 4 times, with at most nothing more than a couple of I miss yous. But last night he randomly sent me a quote about when he lost me, he lost a part of himself. Like, really? He broke up with me. I don't know what to do, if I should even respond to it. I'm so angry and upset and heartbroken all over again. I might sound completely delusional, but I'm guessing that's just first love. Anyway, thank you for reading, and any big sister, auntie advice from you and the squad on possible responses or reasons not to respond would really help me think more clearly. Okay, you violated the number one rule of breakup. You were supposed to block him the second you guys broke up. So he couldn't call you. He couldn't be sending you some weird poems. He couldn't be bending your ear with sob stories or checking on you and all stuff. That's what you were supposed to do. You didn't do it though. So this is the result. What you can do is do it now though. It's, you, by separating yourself from him, that's the only way you're going to really move forward with all your healing. You cannot keep letting him in and out of your life like this. Every time he comes in with this sob story and mind fuck, he's going to put you back at the starting gate, as you see. That's why when you break up with an ex, you block them immediately. You don't let them come back. You don't give them an in. You block them on social media. You block them on your phone. You put their email in the spam. You do whatever you need to do so that it makes a complete barrier between you and them so you can heal. You can't do that if you keep letting him come in and out of your life like this. Okay? You didn't handle that well. So you're going to do this now. You're going to block him and you're going to not talk to him anymore, ever again. What he's basically trying to do is get you off thinking about him, which worked because you don't know, you're too young and naive, you don't know the game, by thinking about him. So when he calls you the next time, he's going to say, well, I lost a part of me. Oh my God, I just really sorry. I just realized I made such a mistake. So you're going to assume that means that you're going to get back together. So you're going to hook up with him. You're going to have that makeup sex. And then the next thing you know, he's going to wake up and be like, no, I remember why we broke up. I don't want you anymore. And then your feelings are going to be hurt and you're going to start the healing process all over again. And it's going to be worse because then you're going to be mad at yourself that you let him come in and play you for some booty. So listen to me, please. Do what I'm telling you. Go to your phone right now and block him. Don't delete his number. You need to block it so that he can't reach you. The only way you can do that is to keep the number active in your phone. Okay? Well, yeah, I don't know. See, that they use all them fancy terms. I don't know what it's called. But they all do it. They come tipping back, nosing around, trying to see, what they can get out of you. That's essentially what it is. It's just game, and usually what they want is to have access to some booty. So the dry moment between women, they can tap your ass, and then they already know what you like in bed, so they know it's going to be satisfying to them, and then they don't have any kind of commitment to you. They don't have to worry about you. They already know the deal, and you already broken up with them, so there's nothing for him to worry about. Like, is she going to want more and all that kind of stuff like he would have to with a complete new person. So it's just a way for them to play you. Don't fall for it. Don't let them do that to you. Just let him do it. Okay, so that was our show for tonight. So what we got going on? We're going to be back with the Dusty News Network on Friday night. This is our show. If you would like to submit something for the Dusty News Network, this is what you do. Send it to survivingdating@gmail.com. Make the subject line DNN or Dusty News. Either one works. DNN is quicker. And just send in the types of screenshots and memes and things and comments that you'll see if you look at the show from last week. You get an idea of what we're looking for. Okay? That's Friday night. We'll get started at 6 o'clock. Hopefully it'll be cooler than it was the last few days because I just feel like I'm melting and just about to die. I can't even understand why it's so hot. It's making me mad. But anyway, you guys, hope you enjoyed that. And I will see you all on Friday night, okay? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.